RP, welcome to Regular People Sports. Back again with another video. Let's talk about these Baltimore Ravens. Man, that game last night, I was literally on the floor, like on the floor. Like I got a couch in my living room, but I was watching the game laying on the floor on my knees because that's how intense it was. I'm looking at the screen. I mean, when Boswell missed that kick, I'm like, oh, and then Aaron Rodgers was going out there and he was making them throws. I'm like, oh, and then Lamar Jackson, two-time MVP, went out there and made some big plays. And then, I'm like, Lamar, he did it. He did it. Okay, we got this kid Tyler Loop coming in. They say he's a great kicker. He's a rookie. Initially, when I looked at the play, because I'm thinking about the Steelers' special teams, okay? Got a great special teams coach. Ball head dude always chewing the gum. The Steelers, they known for blocking kicks. Cameron Hayward, veteran. He's a great kick blocker in the interior. He's a big guy. He put his hands up. He always be blocking kicks. So initially, I knew something was gonna happen. I'm just like the Steelers special teams. That's how they be winning games off of special teams and stuff that's just like you forget about. It's not always just up and down the field and it's not always pretty. You know what I'm saying? So when Tyler Luke went out there, okay, Steelers didn't have no more timeouts, so they couldn't ice him. So I was pretty confident about that because he didn't get iced, so you can't say that. And he went out there and he pushed it right. And I know Ravens was shocked. I was shocked, because I mean they talked highly of this kid Tyler Luke, and now everybody talking about Justin Tucker would have made this kick. We don't want to hear that. All right, Tyler Luke supposed to make that kick. He is a rookie, so I, give him the benefit of the doubt. But they set him up right in the middle, 44 yards. I mean, that should be that should be an easy kick for him. But looking at this game, every season the Ravens is just ends on, just a heartbreaking play. Of course, last year Mark Andrews he dropped the ball. I think Zay Flowers he fumbled the year before last, and then Tyler Loop with this missed kick. And you're looking at the Ravens, and when I was watching the game initially though, the Steelers have a lot of it's a real they a real great football team, bro. Just from a culture standpoint and how they stick together, and Cameron Hayward and Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin and TJ Watt, and they it's a lot of everybody takes a lot of accountability over in Pittsburgh, and it shows. You know what I'm saying? Because when Aaron Rodgers went out there and they scored that touchdown, even though that defense was, they couldn't really. Lamar Jackson did make plays, but they wasn't just no plays where it just the defense wasn't giving effort. I mean, that pass to Isaiah Likely was really covered. Jalen Ramsey just misjudged. He just misjudged it. You know what I'm saying? It was a great throw by Lamar Jackson, but the Steelers defense, they was there. They didn't. It wasn't no lack of effort or missed assignments. It was a couple of plays where um, he was open. Um, when they did the fake pitch to Derrick Henry and he was wide open, that's just, they got out schemed, got, what I'm saying, outsmarted. But the Steelers defense, they was passionate all the way to the end. And, things worked out in their favor. They said the boy was throwing holy water on the field before the game started. So that was crazy, because that was the same end zone. So shout out to the higher powers in Pittsburgh because it might have made a difference there when Tyler Luke pushed that kick. But yeah, tough loss for Lamar, man. I think he's going to be back next year. Jim Harbaugh, he did look like, he looked at concern during the game because he knows that rivalry a lot. But he felt the energy of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers had an energy that game where they wasn't finna quit. You know what I'm saying? And the Ravens, they kind of I feel like they've been playing with house money this whole year because they ain't got no business, what I'm saying, being in this situation based off the year they had. They just been inconsistent. And the Steelers, you got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he showed up and made some big plays. I didn't think that the Steelers had a chance from, Metcalf being out, but Aaron Rodgers stepped up and made some huge plays, man. Some huge, huge plays. I mean, the throws he was making was insane. I mean, it was on point. He was reading. He did burn all his timeouts, and people was, kind of questioning that as well. Because I mean, but that's what a veteran do. Because a lot of times quarterbacks they don't want to call timeouts and they say, "Oh, we just got to rush the play and get the play," and then boom, you don't even he helped the coaches out by calling the timeout. He was calling them back to back, like he was burning them because it's just like I'd rather get the points than rush a play and then we don't get the points. They did the toss to Kenneth Gainwell. He walked right in the end zone. If Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have called that timeout, that situation might not it might have wouldn't have played out like that. They probably would have had to rush the play and try to do something, and it wouldn't have worked out like that. So Aaron Rodgers, his veteran approach and his experience really showed. And yeah, I'm happy for the Steelers, man. The Steelers they showed up, and they did what they were supposed to do. So they got the Texans. Texans defense is nasty. Will Anderson and that defensive line in Houston and D'Amico Ryans and him and Mike Tomlin, two black coaches. I'm excited to see them face each other. But I think that Aaron Rodgers he gonna have to because I felt like the Ravens wasn't putting enough pressure on him. He looked really comfortable, and the Texans are a very stingy, nasty team. Out Shair, and Stingley. I mean, they're gonna be flying around and they're gonna be trying to hit him every play, even if they're not sacking him. So, you look at that matchup and it's on a Monday night though. And once again, it's just like the Steelers they just know how to just put themselves in good situations to win football games because okay, they playing Monday night. Mike Tomlin, I think he's undefeated on Monday night. It's prime time game. It's set up perfect for the Steelers. We get to see Aaron Rodgers, play another playoff game. So I'm excited to see that. And it should be a good one. CJ Stroud, if he's got to step up, but a lot of people been looking at the Texans defense and expect a lot of pressure. Expect Aaron Rodgers to be getting hit a lot. If they could protect Aaron Rodgers, you know what I'm saying? I feel like his experience alone can win the Steelers this playoff game, especially with DK Metcalf back, him and Derek Stingley Jr. I know they're gonna be going at it, so it's gonna be a good matchup, man. And yeah, Steelers back in the playoffs. Let's see how they can, do this again because the Steelers they always get in the playoff and then lose in the first round. That's just been the story of their whole, repertoire the past 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So let's see if they can get in here and win some games because they got a good quarterback. They got a great Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, and he's playing his best football right now. I mean, he's especially in the fourth quarter. So, and that's the type of quarterback you need in playoff games. Somebody who's gonna step up in the fourth quarter and finish a game. So, we'll see how this goes. Regular People Sports, we gone. Thanks for watching.